Hi, my stamping friends. This is Holly Peterson. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In the United States. And today I'm going to show you how I made this one sheet wonder out of a 6x6 piece of designer paper. I did these cards for an upcoming class that I'm having. So today I'm going to show you a different pattern, but the same basic idea. So let me get rid of these. So this is the pattern that I'm going to use, and it is one of the new patterns in the annual catalog, and I don't remember what it's called. Delightfully Eclectic is what this designer series paper is called. And I cut it down to 6x6. And you'll see that I have 4 pieces here. And this 1x1 square is the only thing that we're going to get rid of. We're not going to use that today. I did make a template here. That shows you how to cut the paper. The first cut is at 1 inch, so you have a 1x6. You're going to cut it down to 1x5. And then your second cut is you're going to turn it this way and cut 2 1/4. So then you have a 2 1/4 by 5. And then this piece you're going to cut in half at 2 1/2. So then you have 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. So to mount my layers, I'm going to be doing that in basic black. So I have 2 pieces that are 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. I have one that's 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then I have one that is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to adhere these designer paper layers to my basic black layers. And for this class, I'm going to be doing a portfolio as well for them. And so I wanted the cards to be pretty simple so that they didn't have to spend a long time making the cards and the little folio to put the cards in. We'll be stamping a variety of different greetings, and then they'll have a little envelope in their folio that they can store different greetings in. And then when they need a card, they'll have all those different greetings, and they can just choose one and put it on the card that they want to give out. Or it would make a great gift. Mother's Day is right around the corner. I don't know that they would have time to make one for Mother's Day since my class is the day before, but they certainly could do one for Mother's Day. Now these ones I did just a really tiny 1/8 inch border. I like using liquid glue. I go back and forth between seal and liquid glue. Right now I'm on a glue kick, I guess. Makes it nice when you need that little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so now we have all of those layers put together. The next thing I did was I have 4 pieces of basic white, and they are 4 by 5 1/4, and they are embossed with the Countryside Blossoms embossing folder. I'm going to back up for just a minute here. I didn't tell you these cards, the blue cards that I did, those were made using Timeless Arrangements and the matching dies that go with that. My card bases are 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to fold those in half for you. And then we're going to just put one of these on the front, and both sides look great. I might mix them up and do one on the reverse side and one on the embossed side. So this one we'll do this way. Just center that on our card base. Do one more on the regular side that we normally would use. This one I'm going to flip over and do the other side. Just like so. And our last one. Okay, now that we have our card bases ready and that first layer adhered on, I'm going to get this white sheet out of my way here. So this first card, I'm going to do my 1x5 strip. And I'm just going to adhere that to my card front on the left side. And then the 2 1/4 by 5 will go right down the middle. I like to turn it sideways and work this way instead of having it in portrait mode. Whichever way works for you. Okay, and then this one we will put at a slight angle. And this one we will just do straight. Okay, I wanted to show you, this one I'm going to be using the Nested Essentials dies for my labels. And then I'm going to get my greetings and my embellishments from the layering leaves, which coordinates with our bow punch that is a carryover. So we'll be using that. I'm going to show you a trick to line up those stamp images. And then I'm also using inked and tiled for a couple of the greetings as well. So the first thing I did was I needed some basic black leaves, so I punched this out of basic black, and then I wrote top on it. And then I'm going to take the leaf images, and you're going to put these, the stamp side down, and you're going to just line it up in the holes of this punch out. This works really great if you're going to do both colors, both images in the same color, or you could use a stamping right marker and color the images as well. So then just make sure those both fall into the holes of the punch. Lay it down, and then you're going to just pick it up with your block. And then you can save this as a template. I'll put this in my stamp case and I'll just save that for other projects. So now these are right where we want them, and I'm using Fresh Freesia cardstock, and I'm going to use Fresh Freesia ink. And then we're going to just stamp here. And then when we go to punch them, we can line up those images. And then we have the perfect stamped layer on our punched images. I'm not sure how many more of those I need, but we'll start with that. And then the labels, I cut the two smallest labels from the Nested Essentials die. Oops. And then I'm just going to stamp my greetings in Memento Black. And I have one that says Thinking of You. And then one that says Hello. I like to use my grid paper to help me line up my layers so that they're straight. And then the other two, we're going to use Happy Birthday. We always need birthday cards, at least I do. I also like to make generic cards for like hello that you could use for any occasion. And the last one we'll do as a thank you. Whoops, let that dry a little bit there. Pushed a little bit too hard on my ink pad on that one. It should be okay. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to use one of these bigger sentiments. I don't want to cover up my flowers too much. So I'm just going to kind of lay that down there. And I've got all of these other leaves that I've punched out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of my leaf. And then just stick it down. Then I'm going to add a black one to it, one of the little black ones. And we'll put that one this way. I think I'm going to use dimensionals and pop that up. And I'm just going to put them on the four corners and one in the middle. I'm using the minis. You certainly could use the regular size ones as well. Take those off. And then we'll just put that down. And then I thought for a little bit of sparkle, I would use the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. The Fresh Freesia is in there. So we'll go ahead and use those. And I like to use my the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool. And let's do a small one. And we'll just come right over there. And maybe a larger one. And I think I'll use another larger one over here. And then I do have a 4 by 5 1/4 layer for the insides. I'm not going to stamp anything at the moment on the insides, but then I would adhere my inside to that card. So that's our first one. The next one, I'm going to use this card base, and I'm going to use the hello on this one. We're going to pop that one up as well. I'm not going to press that down just yet because I want to be able to tuck my leaves underneath. So this one I think we'll use a solid black one for the big image. And we'll put that about right here. And then we'll use a stamped Fresh Freesia image. And I think I'll leave it at that. And we'll add some embellishments again. On this one, I think I will use a big one. Right here. We'll put a little one up there and another one right there. I always like to do them in threes. So there's our second card. And then these ones, I think I'm going to restamp my thank you, but I'm going to use it for guidance as to where to put my images here. And because it's stitched, I want to use a fresh piece of paper instead of turning it over and using the back. So I think I want the fresh freesia. And a little black one. Then we'll use a big one here. Maybe we'll stick that one in the middle of that flower. And then we'll use a couple of small ones. Like so. And then I'll add this with dimensionals as well after I stamp a new one. And then our final card, we will use the happy birthday. I think on this one, this is the ribbon that just retired, but I'm going to use it with the fresh freesia. And I'm going to take my seal and I'm just going to put a little bit down here. Put my ribbon down. And then I think I will put a black leaf. And maybe a little fresh freesia one. I'm going to tack this down here just so that it lays a little bit flatter for me. when one's angled, it's hard for me to determine what's straight when I want the other one straight. I think that looks pretty good. And then we will add some gems. Just like that. My next video, I will show you how to make the little folio to store these cards. It'll hold the 4 cards plus 4 envelopes. And so here we have the fresh freesia ones. And then here we have the navy and balmy blue ones. Scooch that up a little bit. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day.